you. Welcome, everybody. It is Thursday night, or any of the other 20 times the show may air over the week ahead. It is Out of the Fog, and we're a local matters bop that goes across the province. We're talking business and art of every kind. And where would I be without the man to my left, the one and only DJ Slim Macho?
How are you?
Deadly.
Merry December.
I know, right?
Happy holidays.
We
all
made
that.
it, baby.
I know, yeah, we're here. Jeez, can't believe it.
Listen, we got to cut it quick because tonight we got a lot of talk lined up.
I'm very
excited.
excited.
We got Santa coming by.
I know.
Can't believe it.
It's crazy. I can't believe it.
The man. Exciting. And, of course, two Business Excellence Award winners, Dallas Mercer, the queen of biz in my mind, and the amazing Dave Howe from Noseworthy Chapman. Can't wait to talk about all the things. It is Out of the Fog, and we'll be right back after this break.
You're watching Rogers TV, St. John's.
Hi, I'm Brenda O'Reilly, host of Scoff Off, a fun competitive cooking show with a Newfoundland twist. Each week I'm joined by two competitors and they square off with a secret basket of ingredients and 20 minutes on the clock. Join us for Scoff Off on Rogers Television, Sunday at 7 p.m.
You're watching Rogers TV, St. John's.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much. This is Out of the Fog if you're just sitting in to join us for the evening. And as discussed before the break, we're having some winners on the show tonight, recipients of an esteemed award that the Board of Trade puts off every year. The Business Excellence Awards is the annual private voted accolade that various business owners should be so lucky to get in their professional career. And to start off conversations to that effect, I have the one and only Dallas Mercer. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
So great to have you on the show.
Thanks.
So Dallas, for people out there watching, you won 2 awards this year, including the highest honor, which is, basically Business of the Year. How does all of that feel to you?
It was a pretty amazing day. I knew we were nominated for 1 award, the Marketing and Promotions, but I had no idea that there was a possibility we could ever win the Business Excellence Award. So yeah, it was a great day, and I was so excited because I had so many staff there that it made it so much better for them to share in the moment and to be present. Yeah,
when the first award went up, we heard the ladies cheering, and then at the climax of the event where they announced the biggest award, it was a hootenanny up in there.
Yeah, it was quite a lot of fun.
How proud were you in that moment when they announced they announced your name twice, and you looked around to see so many people who believe in you so much and love what they do so much in your company? What does that feel like?
It's a big moment. It's a big feeling. I'm not sure how I can wrap my head around it, but they're so passionate, and they share my vision and the things that we do, and they bring their A game every single day. That it's an amazing thing for them to share in that and know that they're part of the dream I have and what we want to do for the employers in Canada.
And that brings us to the valuable next segment of our chat, because DMC, someone's, oh, that sounds like a professional service firm, but it means so much more. And I would love for you to tell us all across the province about your company and what your vision is.
Well, the company was founded 17 years ago by myself. I started out in the basement of our home with a vision to help employers manage their workers' compensation costs. That was the original vision of the company. So when I started, and I got a couple of clients, it was great. And I would always think if I had 5, it'd be great. And if I had 10, oh my God, all I need is 10. When you get 10, you want to have 20. And, and it just keeps going from there. So the business originally started, I was living in Montreal. And then we moved back a year or so later to Newfoundland, Labrador. So I knew that that's where my client base could be. So that's where we started. And within a couple of years, we added occupational health and safety. So just because the workers' compensation model was designed so that safety was tied to getting refunds and the whole workers' compensation costs. And then we added sick leave as well, just because a lot of the same principles in managing workers' compensation claims, the sick leave had the same principles. So we added sick leave. For some of our clients, they had sick leave issues as well as workers' compensation issues. And then we added safety, the whole realm of safety services, the safety consulting, the safety training, the industrial hygiene, ergonomic assessment. So, you know, we became a much more well-rounded organization for our clients to be able to offer those services in one stop.
I guess this all to me says that an ounce of prevention really is worth a pound of cure based on the services that you offer that keep people in a job before they have to go off from it.
Well, that's the goal. I mean, not to have injuries, but then if we do have injuries, then we're there to help manage those as well.
And that's what I think is important to break down into the true brass tacks for everybody watching at home is that, you know, the importance of getting back to work once you've been off for any of the reasons in life that you do is as important to you as it is to the employer that you work for. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. You know, absolutely. I mean, the longer a person is away from work, the more challenging it is to get back. So we try to you know, help employers manage those cases so that people can be productive and be at work.
Absolutely. I want to ask you a question now, knowing that you love what you do so much and that there's different divisions of your company that are very helpful to the people of our province. You have now been moving outside of Newfoundland and Labrador as well. And what has that been like for you?
It's like starting over, really. So, you know, growing in other provinces has, you know, it's like I'm starting the business from scratch again because I'm going to a marketplace where they don't really know us. And there's not a lot of people doing what we do. So we spend a lot of time educating employers as to what we do. So, so New Brunswick is where we've spent quite a bit of time, and you know, I had some contacts in New Brunswick just because I did the Wallace McCain program, and that was an advantage for me in helping me fast forward somewhat in that province.
So New Brunswick a lot, and so I can only imagine your sights are set on other provinces as well.
Well, we have clients in every province in the country right now, but we haven't. A lot of them are not. We haven't been deliberate in being in those provinces, just because we have some national clients who are in each province, or some of our some of our clients who work with companies and then move to other provinces. Then they take us with them. So a lot of it is through word of mouth and testimonials right now. I mean, where we have been deliberately is in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador.
I've heard you say before that everyone needs you, they just don't know it yet. And I laugh when I hear you say it because it's such a confident and important thing for people to hear. You know, when someone's watching this TV show tonight or into the future and they see you talking about the work that you do, you know, they might be intimidated to reach out to someone who is as on the go as you are, but you have a great team behind you. Isn't that true?
Yeah, I have a phenomenal staff that believe in what we do and understand what we do very well. So, you know, I spend a lot of time doing business development now. I'm not involved in the claims management as much as I used to. I still get involved a little bit on some cases and have some discussions, but that's not where I spend most of my time now. It's out meeting with employers and talking to them about their issues.
That's amazing. So I want to actually talk about Wallace McCain. Has been quite impactful on you and so many other people in business across the country, this program. Talk about it to people at home who have heard about it but want to know a little bit more.
Well, a few years ago, I was approached. So the way the Wallace McCain Institute works is that you are nominated by somebody who's already in the program. So I was approached by somebody who'd done the Wallace McCain program, and it's for businesses who want to scale up. So I did a little bit of research, and you know, it was a bit intimidating. 500 people apply. They select 14 or 16 people, and then every month you go to a little place in New Brunswick outside of Miramichi, and you spend time in a lodge there 2 days a month. And takes, when you're from Newfoundland, it's a day to get there and a day to get home. So you know, the whole process was totally outside my comfort zone. But I knew I needed to do something. The company was 15 years old then, so I knew I needed to do something different if I wanted to get different results. And I didn't have a formal business background. You know, I have a Bachelor of Arts, but I don't have a commerce degree. So I knew I needed to do something to kick it up and to do something outside the box. So, you know, I talked it over with my family. It was very important because it was a big sacrifice for me to go away every month. And we agreed that it was the right time to do it. So agreeing to do it doesn't mean you're going to get in. So then, you know, then you got to go through the process, and So I was invited to attend the choosing, and it's a weekend event where you're interviewed and you go through different processes during the day.
Right.
And then the next day, they let you know whether or not you got in the program. But spending the day at the choosing, I knew I wanted it. Like you really want it when you go through that process, because you're surrounded by all these entrepreneurs and people who are so supportive that, you know, it was a really good process. I showed up every weekend ready to work when I went there and ready to learn, and I doubled down and took whatever out of that program that I possibly could because I was making a big sacrifice to be there.
Sure.
And, you know, the Wallace McCain companies that go through that program have proven that they can grow faster and scale up faster. So there's no doubt that program has had a tremendous impact on our ability to grow and the things I've done in the last couple of years.
Thank you so much. Best of luck in 2020.
Thank you.
Guys, this is Out of the Fog. Hit me with a beat, Slim. We'll be right back after this break with Santa Claus himself. We'll talk to you guys in just a few.
That's it.
All right, girls.
Mom, you said it's played again.
Workplace injuries hurt the most at home.
I'm not stupid. I wouldn't drink and drive. She relies on me. They're counting on me. I'd never put them in danger. But I did. And it cost me everything.
Impaired boating is impaired driving.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Out of the Fog. We're so happy to hang out with Dal with us now. But to my left is a man who many know and love, in or outside of the suit, the one and only Bruce Templeton. How you doing?
Thank you. Nice
so
to be
glad
here.
to have you on the show.
Wonderful to be here.
Likewise. I'll tell you what, having this in my hand makes me feel pretty good. This is the 4th book that Bruce has brought into the world. And why don't you tell us at home a little bit about this book?
In the book, there's a little child who writes a letter to the North Pole and asks if the reindeer can fly backwards. Now, I don't say whether the child has got Asperger's or autism or Down syndrome, but the child is challenged in school. He's bullied in the schoolyard, and he wants to go back in time and give away his teddy bear to someone who will love and appreciate him for who he is. So in writing the book, there were some amazing calls, and I got a call from New York from this man who said, "My name is Michael Marks. My father was Johnny Marks. My father wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer." And he said, "For the first time, we're going to allow someone to use Rudolph in a book because you're the first author who has ever figured it out." Rudolph wasn't handicapped or disabled. He was a little reindeer with a red nose who only wanted one thing. He wanted to be loved and appreciated for who he was. So I've really, really enjoyed writing this, and I hope the public enjoy it.
I want to ask you how this all began, because for those of you watching at home who maybe have not been in the city like we have, this man has the amazing responsibility, opportunity, pleasure of being Santa Claus. And that's not just a window dressing, as we'll come to find out in this little hang. This is about bringing joy and health to children, not only here, but also around the world. I'll ask you, what got you into it all?
Well, Santa 101, level entry Santa, someone in a red suit for an hour and a half. The second phase comes when you really believe this. And the third phase is more complicated, but one which I am spending more time at. And that's actually what I call the ministry of St. Nicholas, which is a different thing again. How did I get into it? An aunt called and asked if I would play Santa at a church. I said to the aunt, who was the director of crafts for Newfoundland, I said, I looked around, called her back, said, "Sorry, Aunt Anna, no, because all I can find is cotton wool and flannelette." She said, "If I make it for you, will you do it?" You didn't say no to Aunt Anna. So here's the director of crafts for Newfoundland who showed up with the first Santa suit And that was the beginning 41 years ago of my adventure.
Surely not the Anna Templeton of the Anna Templeton Center.
The Anna Templeton of the Anna Templeton Center.
Well, you come from a pedigree, don't you?
The director of crafts for the province of Newfoundland.
And the work they go on today to do is incredible still.
Well, what she showed up with was lamb's wool and brass and prescription glasses, and we won't go there. But it was one where when Santa appeared, you came with such confidence that it worked beautifully. That was the beginning 41 years ago.
41 years.
Right.
Since then, I mean, the accolades, can you name them all? I doubt it.
Well, one is that this red jacket that I have on, there are 24 of these in the world. And this jacket is from the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame. However, and there's one in Canada. I have it on. The accolades come when you hold a child in the neonatal unit or pediatric intensive care. The accolades come when you're on the flight to the North Pole and a child says, Santa, my mummy died in October, will her spirit be with you in the sleigh? The accolades come when you can make a difference in the life of a child. No other accolades matter.
I'm pausing for effect.
Right.
Book 1 to book 4. How would you look back on each of those creative works? What memories do they have for you?
The books are generally, first of all, they're all true. And the books have come about because people have called me months afterwards to say, this is the impact that you had on Christmas Eve. You held a child on Christmas Eve in the hospital. This is the impact you have had on my family. So I've been touched by those, and in this particular book, 4 of the stories are actually written by the parents who wrote and told what it was like. It was Christmas Eve. They heard the bells come down the hall. So Danielle Little wrote a beautiful story about her son, Caden. Caden last summer had gone down to Disney World, had his sword fight with Darth Vader. Santa saw him Christmas Eve in the hospital, and I went to his funeral in January. And Danielle Little, his mother, will never ever forget Santa's visit on Christmas Eve. There's another story in this book about Nevaeh Denine. And Nevaeh took Santa in the hospital by the hand. She walked him out to the elevator and said, Santa, remember all the sick boys and girls in the hospital. They need you more than I do. And of course, her legacy as our lemonade girl will live forever. So I have this extraordinary privilege of interacting with children and seniors. The oldest lady was 103 last year, who put her arms around Santa, and we had a hug and a giggle. And it's a privilege, it's an absolute privilege to do what I do.
I want to bring up a moment regarding TEDx, which is an organization around the world which is about ideas worth spreading, and you as well had the privilege of standing on that stage of a crowd of all ages in a very sophisticated setting and telling your stories to a standing ovation. What was that like?
That was a great privilege. And another enormous privilege happened last year when I was asked to be the keynote speaker in Denver, Colorado, at the World Conference of Santa Claus.
Talk about it.
Now here's a room of 600 of your peers from all over the world. And you stand for 20 minutes, 18 minutes with the TEDx format. And it's really interesting when you're standing in front of your peers and you're trying to address them in a meaningful way. But it is a privilege to be part of that group.
What does Christmas mean to you?
Christmas now means believe, and Christmas also means forgive. Throughout your year, we've all had challenges, and I think Christmas is a time of bring your presence, bring your presents. None of us can remember anything we got under a tree. You can remember if you went skating, sliding, you made hot chocolate, you roasted marshmallows. Please make memories for your family. That really, I believe, is the message of Christmas. Bring your presence, bring love, bring hope, and be thankful for all the things that have gone right in your life.
In Search of St. Nicholas is available now where all books are sold and online via Flanker Press. You can check it out. Thank you so much for coming by to visit us.
You're still on the good list.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
He hasn't seen the updated list. We'll be right back after this break, everybody. It's Out of the Fog.
Merry
This is so great. Thank you so much. Hey everybody, welcome back to Out of the Fog. As you know, we talk about arts and business and not-for-profit and all the people making good things happen here in the province. And the next guest is no exception. He is the managing partner for the largest independent company of his kind in the province, the one and only Dave Howe. How you doing?
Great, thank you.
Good to see you.
You too.
So I want to begin by congratulating you and the incredible team of partners and staff at Noseworthy Chapman for winning the award at the Board of Trade Business Excellence Awards last week.
Excellent, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I'd also like to congratulate you and your team at DC Design.
Thank you so much.
For your Community Impact Award.
I'll tell you what, it feels good when your head is down, getting it done, and you don't expect any thanks, and to have that moment in front of a room full of your peers, that just feels real nice.
Yeah, no, it's great to be recognized, isn't it? Great to be
And
recognized.
Denise did a great job.
Yes.
One of the amazing partners at Noseworthy Chapman got up and did a great job. And you know, I'm sure when you guys are so behind the scenes doing the work that you do for the many different types of clients that you love to take care of and help them be successful in business, every now and then these sort of sitting on the couch or in front of the podium moments got to come up, you know?
Well, you like to think so. That's not why you do it. That's not what you work towards. You know, being a good employer is very important to us. I mean, we're in the people business, and that's our main resource. But it is nice to get recognized from time to time when you do something well.
That's true. So how does it feel to have won that award for the work you do in terms of being a place where people like to work and be? That's pretty rewarding.
Well, as a professional service firm, we like to do good work for our clients, and that's really important. And that's what the team is all about in you know, delivering good quality work on a timely basis. But there's a lot of people behind that. And it's, you know, it's not just the partners, it's all the staff from every level up contribute to that service.
It's true.
So that's, you know, really makes us proud to think that, you know, that we're being recognized as an employer of choice in this community.
I'm going to ask you to step back into the old hot tub time machine for a second, you know. Picture yourself walking up the steps into the first day of school after high school and you're wondering what you're going to do with your life. Did you ever imagine you'd end up being so successful in the company that you are such an important part of?
Well, it's interesting. When I was in high school, you start to think about what am I going to do? And people say, well, you're good at math, so maybe accounting. And, you know, I had some family friends that were accountants and did the traditional, went to do a commerce degree. I actually got my first work term with this firm in 1987.
Get out.
Graduated from commerce in 89. Carried on, got my CA in 91, and just carried on with some education, continuing education after that. So I've been there for quite a while now, and I've seen quite a lot of growth. I think we were about 10 people when I started, and now we're 65 plus. So a lot of transformation over time. I had a lot of great mentors in the firm, you know, as I was an employee, and now I think it's great that the partners in the firm are able to mentor some people coming up, and I see students every day now starting on the same path that I did over 30 years ago.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I walk in and out of that building and see so many people coming in and out, it's quite impressive to see the growth and the heart as well, because I think it's important to also punctuate whenever I have people of business on the show that it's more than about the money making and the client serving. It's about the community that you are in and the way that you show up to take care of that community. And I'm sure that you guys definitely can tell a lot of stories about the efforts that you put in on that front. Why don't you share some of those with the people watching at home?
Well, we get involved in various community activities. We're big supporters of United Way. We support single parents at Christmas time. I guess on a sort of national level, we just finished around with Movember.
Oh yes, I'm still there.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't
and
look.
we still, you know, provide time to our staff to contribute to the community wherever possible. One thing about accounting professionals, you find a lot are very good volunteers in the community and various charitable organizations.
And so I'll ask you, what is your dream? What is your focus? And what do you want out of what you do for the betterment of the province in the years to come?
Well, we really enjoy being an independent firm. You know, there are opportunities to merge with other firms and become bigger or become a national player, international, but we really enjoy our independence and just being, you know, working with the local business community. You know, we know the business community, we know the economy here, we know the ups and downs. We've got a lot of experience in that area, and that's what we really like to do. And it's, you know, whether it's Noseworthy, Chapman, helping with accounting, auditing, tax services, business advisory, or James and Noseworthy, helping people with some financial stresses. You know, that's what we're all about, is just helping people.
It's true. That's what it's about at the end of the day, especially in a province like this. For our final moment, I want to ask you, what is the most rewarding part of what you do? At the end of a day, when the lights are turned off and you're about to go home for the night, what puts a smile on your face, man?
Well, I guess it's making sure that you've done a good job. You deliver good service, and it's just not about me, it's the people around me, the excellent employees that we have that are contributing to that, and knowing that you delivered a good service on a timely basis, and you just go home, feel proud, and sleep well at night.
Maybe like a little party or two on the weekend. You never
Every
know,
once
right?
in a while.
Yeah, right.
Every
Break
once
it
in
up.
a while.
Well, I'll tell you what, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. Slim, hit me with a beat, would you, bud? Guys, this has been another great episode of Out of the Fog, one of the final for 2019 before we take our little lay down until 2020. Thank you so much once again, Dave, for being on the show, as well as Dallas, and of course, Santa himself, Bruce Templeton. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.